This is your marketing news for the week of February 18th, 2026. 3 stories this week, and let's connect them for you before we dive in, because on the surface, they look like they're separate news items, but they're not. They're all telling you the same thing. The channels your customers use to discover brands, research products, and make decisions are being rebuilt at the same time you're planning your Q2 campaigns on the same platforms using strategies you've used for the last 3 years. Things are changing fast, and unfortunately, you're going to need to change those marketing strategies. Here's the headlines for today. First, Meta just opened a brand new ad platform. 400 million users, engagement rates that are crushing the closest competitor, and CPMs so low right now that I'd be shocked if they stayed there past this summer. If you run Meta ads, this is something you can act on this week. Second, Google dropped the most significant Discover algorithm update in years. First time ever that they targeted Discover specifically, not general search. The update has a clear winner and a very clear loser. We'll talk about which side your content is on. And third, a stat that came out this week that reframes a large part of online marketing. More than 1 in 3 of your customers are no longer starting their search on Google. We'll talk about what they're doing instead and what it means for how you build your marketing infrastructure going forward. Let's dive in. Our first story, Threads ads are live globally and the window's open. All right, this is something you can do this week. Meta completed the global rollout of ads on Threads in the first week of February. Not a test anymore, not limited to the US and Japan like it was last year. It's global and open to every advertiser already running Meta campaigns. And here's the stat that might have happened quietly while all of us marketing people were concentrating on platforms that get all the headlines. Threads now has 400 million monthly active users. And as of January, Threads has more daily active users than X, 141.5 million versus X's 125 million daily. Threads beat Twitter's replacement by daily users. Engagement on Threads is 73.6% higher than on X. Medium engagement rate of 6.25 on Threads compared to 3.6% on X. And analysts at Evercore are projecting Threads could hit $11.3 billion in revenue by the end of 2026. Meta is not playing around with this platform. And get this, the CPMs right now, Threads are between $3 and $8. Compare that to Facebook at $8 to $14 and Instagram up to $18. You're getting in before the auction heats up, before every brand in your category figures this out. And the early window on every new ad platform is the best time to be there, and you can be in it on Threads. And the setup friction? Almost zero. If you're already in Meta Ads Manager, Threads is essentially a checkbox. You can extend existing Facebook or Instagram campaigns directly to Threads placement. You don't need a separate Threads profile to advertise there either. Meta now lets brands run Threads ads through their Instagram or Facebook account. So there's no excuse not to test this. Now, what kind of ads are working? Meta is rolling out image, video, carousel, Advantage Plus, catalog ads, and Advantage Plus app ads on Threads. The platform is text-first and conversational by nature. That matters for creative. What works on Instagram, like polished lifestyle imagery, is not necessarily what's going to perform on Threads. Native-feeling content, posts that blend into the feed, copy that reads like a person wrote it, not a brand. One more thing worth mentioning. Threads exists specifically because advertisers and brands have been fleeing X. Brand safety issues, audience fragmentation, Elon's very vocal politics. A lot of companies quietly pulled spend from X over the past 2 years. Threads is filling that gap. It's got the engagement of what Twitter used to have at its peak, with Meta's ad infrastructure behind it. That's a serious combination. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for Threads to prove itself, it just did. Our second story in marketing news this week, Google's Discover update just changed the content game. If you're producing any kind of content, blogs, articles, thought leadership, news, you need to understand what Google just did. On February 5th, Google released the February 2006 Discover Core update. And this one is historically significant for a specific reason. It's the first time Google has ever issued a core algorithm update aimed exclusively at Google Discover, not general search rankings, just the Discover feed. If you're not living in the Discover world, here's a quick reminder. Google Discover is the personalized content feed that shows up on the Google app on your phone. It surfaces articles before you even search, based on your interest, location, behavior. For a lot of publishers, Discover sends more traffic than Google search itself. It's a big deal. So what changed? 3 things, and they're all connected. First, geographic relevance is now weighted more heavily. U.S. users will see more content from U.S.-based sites. This is good news for domestic publishers, less good if you're a global media company fighting for American eyeballs. Second, clickbait is getting penalized hard. Google literally updated their official Discover documentation to say, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, stop using misleading or exaggerated headlines to inflate clicks. Sensational tactics that play on outrage, curiosity bait, or morbid fascination, those get suppressed now. And third, this is the nuanced one, expertise is now evaluated topic by topic, not site by site. Google isn't just asking, is this a credible website anymore? It's asking, does this website have demonstrated expertise on the specific topic? Google gave an example in their own documentation. A local news site with a dedicated gardening section could rank in Discover for gardening content. But a movie review site that wrote one gardening article? Probably not. That's a significant shift in how topical authority is being assessed. Here's what this means practically. AI-assisted content that's thin, templated, or just recycled from other sources got a penalty here. Sites that consistently cover their topics with original reporting and genuine depth are the winners. And the rollout is still completing. It started February 5th, and it can take up to 2 weeks. So if your Discover traffic is fluctuating right now as we record this, that's why. The bigger message from Google is hard to miss. They are actively choosing quality over volume in their feed. And that trend, the algorithmic preference for depth over breadth, is not going away. We're seeing it across every surface in Google. And our third story in marketing news this week, 37% of your customers stopped Googling. A new AI and search behavior study dropped this week from 802, a marketing and SEO agency, titled 2026 AI and Search Behavior Study. It's based on a survey of 500 active AI users conducted in November of 2025. The headline finding, 37% of consumers are now turning to AI chatbots, tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google's Gemini for search assistance instead of the main Google. More than 1 in 3 of your potential customers. More stats from the study? 47% of consumers say AI influences which brands they trust first, and 62% choose AI specifically because it summarizes without the link scrolling. And before you say, okay, but that's just a tech-savvy, forward early adopters, this is a broad consumer study. It isn't a niche behavior anymore. The frustrations driving the shift are worth knowing because they tell something about what these people want. Too many ads in traditional search, too much low-quality SEO content, and they know it's junk. They don't want to wade through 10 results to find the answer they needed. AI just gives them the answer. That's the value proposition, and it's landing hard. Gartner had predicted a 25% drop in traditional search volume by the end of 2026. Industry observers are now saying that number looks conservative. ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google's own AI overviews combined are processing billions of queries per month. The shift is accelerating faster than most of the forecasts expected. Now here's the nuance. 85% of those same people in the study say they still double-check AI answers somewhere else. So it's not blind trust in AI output. What it actually means is that AI becomes the top of the funnel, the research starting point, and the traditional search has been pushed down to the verification layer. That's a significant repositioning of where your brand needs to show up first. This is where 2 things become urgent. The first is generative engine optimization, GEO. It's exactly what it sounds like. Optimizing your content not for rank in a list of links, but to get cited inside AI-generated answers. When someone asks ChatGPT a question in your category, you want to be the source that AI references. Early data shows content optimized for AI citation gets 43% higher mention rates inside AI responses. That gap between brands doing GEO and brands not doing it is going to widen fast. The second is first-party data. As we talked about before, third-party cookies are functionally dead in Chrome by mid-2026, and the companies that moved early on first-party data strategy are already reporting the results. 2.9 times better customer retention and 1.5 times higher marketing ROI. Not incremental improvements, multipliers. The window to build that infrastructure while you still have cookie data to cross-reference is closing. Here's your 3 marketing moves this coming week. Marketing move number 1, add threads to your Meta campaigns. Go to the Meta Ads Manager this coming week. Find your best performing Facebook or Instagram campaign, the one with the creative and copy that's already proven. Add threads as a placement. Set a small test budget, maybe 10 to 15% of what you've been spending on that campaign. Run it for 2 weeks. CPMs at $3 to $8, the auction isn't crowded yet, and the setup takes about 10 minutes if you're already in Ads Manager. Low risk, high upside, and the window won't stay open for long. Do it before your competitors do. Your marketing move number 2, run a Discover audit on your top content. Pull up your last 10 published pieces and do a fast, honest read on the headlines. Would you click on that headline if you didn't already know what the article said? Or are you withholding the point to bait the click? If the latter, rewrite it. Then look at your topic coverage. Do you have at least 5 to 10 substantial pieces on your most important subjects? Google Discover is now evaluating expertise at the topic level, not the site level. One great article won't cut it. Build a content cluster and go deep. And your third marketing move this week, do an AI citation test ASAP. Pick your 2 or 3 most important product or service categories. Go to ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google's AI overview and type in the questions your customers ask when they're looking for what you sell. Who comes up? See what sources get cited. If your brand isn't there, that is your GEO gap. Start creating content that directly and thoroughly answers those exact questions with original data, genuine expertise, and your actual point of view. AI cites the best answer. Make sure that's you. And while you're at it, make sure your first-party data infrastructure is in place before Chrome's cookies elimination hits mid-year. The companies that prepared early are already seeing 2.9 times better customer retention. That window is closing. The channels your customers use to discover you are being rebuilt around AI. The marketers who move now are the ones who'll be ahead when everyone else is trying to catch up. Your marketing move.